You are.
There it is.
Hell yeah, boss.
Oh, hey.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning and welcome to episode 1328 of Hard Factor. It is Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, the start of Native American Heritage Month. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80% accuracy guaranteed. Subscribe, like, and set the auto download if you don't mind. Today, I've got all the latest poison news to bring you. Mark's got nudists in Spanish museums, finally, and tarantulas to tell you about. And Wes has fools in schools and some new innovations to tell us about. So,
yeah, new innovations that also involve poison.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Big time poison.
Don't tell Putin. It's also one of my favorite days of the year, Dia de Muertos, the Day of the Dead.
That's right. The day after Halloween. Nice.
Coco, baby. Got to watch Coco today.
A lot of big stuff happening on November 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Nudists and poison. That's like, I guess, the theme. Tarantulas probably have a lot of poison too, I would think.
They equate
not
to
as-
they equate to like a bee sting. They have poison.
Really?
They have a lot of
poison.
They don't use it. They don't use all of it.
Yeah.
They don't use all of it. They got poison.
Tarantula bite is nothing. It's just the fangs that'll get you.
Okay, but they're the scariest looking things on earth.
It's true.
Yeah.
They're scary.
Yeah. You know, when I eat crabs, I always think about how it's like an underwater spider. And then
Yeah, they're a crustacean. They're a similar arachnid crustacean and whatever. They're
why can't
similar.
land spiders be as tasty as crabs? That's what I always
Some people think they are.
What?
Thailand, they eat the shit out of tarantulas.
Tarantulas are probably pretty good if cooked right. Yeah.
So you're saying if you grill up like a giant tarantula, like
Yeah.
one of those bird-eating tarantulas, it would taste like
The legs,
delicious
it looks
soft-shell
like
crab?
crab meat. Yeah, it looks like crab meat from what I've seen on travel shows when they pull it apart. It's
The
like
trick
white
is
meat.
the trick is you have to like when like with like corn getting the hair out, you have to trim the hair off because the hair is a very unpleasant texture. So before you
Well,
cook
you fry
have
it.
right? You have to get the hair out of there, and then
Yeah.
you can like fry it or whatever, and then you're good.
You basically
I'm
just
thinking like
deep
a
fry it
soft
in oil.
shell. Yeah.
You deep
Soft
fry it in
shell
oil, just like a soft shell. Yeah.
Oof. Soft shell crab.
I would never though.
Saute it.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Wes, I'm in if you want to try a spider sandwich one day. Because soft shell crab sandwich is one of my favorite
Did
items.
you guys just order a
Incredible.
spider sandwich?
I mean, that could be on the menu at Pythons and Hogs when we open it.
Well, then
because,
I'm not going to be working there. I'm not going to be.
well, I'm sure there's invasive tarantulas, and if they're as delicious as soft shell crabs, I think it's just like a stigma thing. You got to get people's. I'm not for eating bugs, but I mean, a giant tarantula.
I don't think a
tastes like
tarantula is a
soft-shell
bug.
crab.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's a
it's an
monster.
arachnid, right?
Yeah.
It's like a full blown animal. Yeah.
Right.
Anyways,
Yeah.
we'll get into the tarantulas more later. What's going on, fellas? We've had a busy day. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
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 Ready to talk this news? You got anything else before we hop into it, or
No, I just want to news so hard.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Okay.
How do you say the word CE? Hang on. How do you say the word CEPHALOPOD?
Cephalopod.
Right. Cephalopod, right?
Mhm.
So I've been watching this Morgan Freeman Netflix thing, and I guarantee that they were just too scared to correct him because he says Cephalopod every time he's talking. Every time he's and I can just see him in the VO studio being like Cephalopod, and they're like, no, it's Cephalopod, and he's like, well, I'm gonna say it Cephalopod, and they're like,
That made
okay.
the final cut.
Oh, he says it every single time. He says Cephalopod.
That's wrong.
Yeah, it's way wrong.
That's amazing.
You don't want to piss off Morgan Freeman on
No
on a
one's
small-
correcting
No,
Morgan Freeman on a
he's worth
nature
more
show
than-
narration.
He gets paid as
Right.
much as everyone else combined. Yeah.
Had it been Will Smith again, they would have made him retake
Yeah.
it, but not
Yeah.
Morgan.
Cephalopod.
Dump Truck D, super chat, youtube.com/hard factor news donation. Thank you, Dump Truck D. Also, Landon says, happy Halloween, fellas. Happy Halloween to you out there. We're recording this on Halloween. And then Bailey Green says, I bought a Fat Boy Summer hoodie, but I didn't get the sticker. The sticker thing, apparently, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to figure this out because apparently the stickers didn't hop in automatically with your order on the merchathon. So we'll get people your stickers.
Oh
Just let us
no,
know.
another Printify bug.
Just let us know. Yeah,
Something like
well,
15% of the orders were fucked.
Printify, not us.
Wes
So-
worked through
Wait,
those.
I'm gonna look at Bailey's order right now.
You're checking
Okay.
the dates. You're calling.
While
them
you
all
do
there.
that, I'm gonna do what we promised we would do yesterday and forgot. Merchathon totals. We made it up to $5,000. So
Okay.
Wes is gonna do a prank call in a foreign accent, not on this show, but soon he will deliver it to you for your support of the podcast. And also, Mark will shave a man-o-lantern into his chest.
Now that's
At some
gonna be
point.
cool.
It will.
Here's
be cool.
the problem
I
that
can't
happened
wait.
to Bailey is that he used the merchathon discount, so it went under the $50.
Oh right.
Oh, send him a sticker. So
We
he
will,
spent
we
like
will.
$44 or something
Well,
like
with
that.
shipping, he spent 53 something, but that doesn't count towards the total.
I see. Well,
in the
good
cart.
news, it didn't fuck everyone. Okay, all right.
Right. Yeah.
Fair
Dude,
enough.
I'm Truck D's going nuts.
Billy's
He
getting
just
a
keeps
sticker.
giving us dollar after dollar. I love it. He says, let's get some bonus dogs in the chat. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
D.
Truck D.
I think if you're a super user now, you got like emotes and shit that's coming. Yeah, youtube.com/hard.
We'll get you a sticker, Bailey.
Good choice
Get
on
in
that
on-
sweatshirt too, by the way, Bailey. That's a great sweatshirt.
Oh, it's the one that
Bad Boy
that's
Summer
the bear
Grizzly.
one. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, but unfortunately only one Printify, not us. We'd let you use as many codes as you want, but Printify one code at a time.
Well, he went under the 50. He was over
under the
50.
50.
He got under the 50 through a coupon.
Oh, right.
Right.
He got
Wow,
cheap
save-
and then he got gypped out of a sticker.
Yeah.
Savings. So
He's getting the sticker.
he's saving us. He just keeps popping these super chats in
There you go.
Man,
He's
I love
basically
that.
just.
I
bought
feel like a
Bailey's
stripper, dump truck D.
sticker. Yeah.
Yeah, you want us to take something off?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Get into youtube.com/hard factor news on the ground floor. We're about to hit 10,000. So if you're in the first 9,999, that's the ground floor. So get in now. Get in now while you can, because it's not going to be the ground floor forever. Just warning everybody.
While we get into
You know who you're with? 3 Factor, yeah. This is real news.
Yep. Thank you, Macho Man. It's fantastic every time. Welcome to 3 Factor when there's
That's right.
3 of us here, because Pat is off on paternity leave. If you haven't checked out his social media,
cute kid.
Kate, check it out. Very cute kid. Okay. Just a couple of mentions off the top. The NFL trade deadline happened right before we recorded this. The Commanders sent both starting defensive ends to Chicago and San Francisco for picks. I like it as a
I
comics
guess
fan.
that's the end of this season.
Well, I mean, the backups will still get sacks next to those 2 defensive tackles they still have. So
Sure,
it's-
they're just as good. Yeah.
well, I mean,
There's a lot of people calling for them for second and third rounders. Sure.
yeah, no, I mean they're not, but
Yeah.
you have depth. That's how the NFL is supposed to work, at least. Bayard to the Birds, that's big for Mark. Rasul Douglas to the Bills, Leonard Williams to the Seahawks, Josh Dobbs to the Vikings to replace Cousins, and DPJ to the Lions. So those are the big ones. And now let's get into the poison news.
DPJ to the Lions?
Yeah, Wes, you know that guy? He's good.
Yeah, you know his name?
That's crazy.
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
People.
Hopefully they can become the team that everyone thinks they are. You know what I mean?
There you
Hopefully
go.
so. Yeah,
That's good analysis.
I know.
They
are
bounced
6-2.
back.
They are
After
6-2. Yeah.
after
Yeah.
getting their shit pushed in by the Ravens, they bounced back.
That's right.
Okay, on to the. I tried to do that as fast as I could, Wes, so you wouldn't even hear it. But I couldn't sneak it past you, dude. Dump truck D. Thank you, bud.
Well, Wes's
He
earlier
says he
picks.
stole his mom's credit card, and that's why he's making it rain.
Hey, Wes's earlier picks of the season about the NFL was about kickers, specifically like Nick Folk, and the guys he talked about are having great years. The kickers he talked about were, and the trades for those kickers were very important to those
They were.
teams. Yeah,
I knew
We're
that.
all
No,
over.
Wes is spot on. You go to him if you want football analysis.
that's right.
Cuts right to the chase. I'll tell you
Gotcha.
the most important things. Okay, poison news. Poison mention here. The Iranian-backed Yemen Houthis, who probably like poison, have declared war on Israel in support of Hamas and Palestine. Here, check it out. Here's the announcement.
بد للشعوب العربية والإسلامية أن تقول كلمتها
And I don't know
وأن
what he's saying.
تنتصر لغزة ولأطفالها
Oh, it's like a
ونسائها
fucking nerd.
ونحن
You can tell he's
من وادع
upset.
الشعور بالمسؤولية الدينية والأخلاقية.
It just goes on like that.
Mhm.
And so I don't know what he's saying. He sounds angry. The Houthis are part of Iran's axis of resistance. And of course,
Sound like a fun group.
yeah, anything with an axis, right? Sounds like
Right.
a real great time. And of course, the U.S. now is also threatening to jump in more and more every day, with defense officials saying we will respond to any attacks, and that we may want to govern Gaza with Israel after it's been wiped out. So
That should go over well.
yeah,
You know,
Surely that won't result in any terrorist attacks on U.S. soil.
yeah. I don't want to disparage the ROTC, but when I was in school, the ROTC had some nerds in it, and that guy reminds me of an ROTC guy.
Oh, he looked like such a
Yeah.
nerd. Yeah.
the leader of the
yeah.
Houthis,
Yeah.
or the military leader. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Jay Richards says you could tell that guy was like 5 foot tall. And he's probably a jockey, part-time jockey.
Major
Little
DeSantis
nerd.
vibe.
Yeah.
The potential U.S. war with Iran getting closer every day, it seems. So more poison added to the jar every day.
Great
Situation over there. So that's not good. So let's move on to actual poisonings, not just like theoretical poisonings of a situation, but actual ones. First up, a woman in Indiana has been arrested after she was caught coaching her mom how to murder her stepdad using a toxic plant she ordered off of Etsy. So they murdered him by poisoning.
A little bonding, mother-daughter bonding.
Yeah, some intense bonding. They murder him by poisoning his root beer floats, of all things. And I'm very glad she was caught, because root beer floats.
Well, I mean, how many root beer floats this guy drink? Because no one's going to do an autopsy on a guy that's known for drinking root beer floats.
No, not many, Mark, is the funny part. They were like, let's do root beer float night. And he agreed.
Oh no.
What's worse, getting
this is not even his preference.
Yeah, I thought he had like a special glass.
He likes it. They picked something he liked.
Right.
So
yeah. Well, who's gonna turn down a root beer float? Nobody.
Nobody.
Right.
Nobody. And I'm glad they're caught, because root beer floats should be sacred. They
really should.
If you're gonna
what's worse? The guy, the wife that poisoned the guy with the Moscow mules, or a root beer float? Root beer float has to be worse.
Root beer
right?
float's worse. Yeah.
Worse,
It's personal pizza night. Yeah. This is fucked up. Yeah, I mean, the guy thought it was the opposite of a poisoning. He's like, hell yeah, let's do root beer float night. I love you guys.
Yeah, you should have known something was up when root beer float night came out of nowhere.
Right, after 5 days in a row of fighting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
we've never done this.
Maybe they've wised up.
It's not good. They didn't like this guy. R.I.P. Poor soul. The plot to murder, and he has an awesome name too. Had R.I.P. Harold Peanut L. Allen Jr. is his full name. He was 52 years old. You see him there in his hilarious suit.
Peanut because his head's so damn small compared to the rest of
bald,
him.
Yeah, he looks. Yeah, he's got like a peanut look.
From the looks of him, they could have waited like 5 years and would have been dead anyway.
That's what I was saying. Like,
not the healthiest dude. No, the whole family, not the healthiest family.
Just give him your leftovers. You know, like
just keep giving him root beer floats. He'll be dead in 2 years.
Yeah, encourage him to eat what he wants to eat.
Just do the diabetes poisoning.
Right.
Well, Wes, they couldn't wait that long. They couldn't. Unfortunately for Peanut, as the plan was put in motion as early as the start of November 2022, when Ashley Nicole Jones, that's the daughter, 29-year-old Missouri woman, who will turn 30 on November 22 of this year, she allegedly began researching various poisons back at that time. And then the mom, Marsha Allen, there she is on the left, so you can see it. That's Ashley, the daughter, in the middle, Marsha, the mom, and then Peanut, the stepfather.
And that's not a mug shot of the daughter. That's just how she takes pictures, just creepily not smiling, staring into the camera. Like,
that's a mug shot for sure.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah, you'll see why. you'll see why, because her little compatriots later. But
okay.
Yeah, so then the mom, so she was researching, the daughter Ashley was researching from November 2022, and then the mom, Marsha Allen, carried out the plan on December 20th, 2022. Like we said, poisoned his root beer float after inviting Peanut to root beer float night, and surprise, surprise, he's dead. Next thing you know.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. And
yeah, this is. I mean, the guy's never gonna have a root beer float ever again.
This is so fucked up, man.
They might as
like
well have
Will
killed
said,
him.
root beer floats are sacred. You do not. This is
Yeah.
just so wrong on so many levels.
it's horrible. It's horrible.
It's like poisoning a Nintendo controller.
Right.
Right. It's the last thing you suspect. Your heavenly root beer float.
Poisoning my mouse.
Right. yeah. It's like giving you
yeah,
an actual virus from going to Pornhub.
Your phone screen. Yeah. Yeah. And at first there was no foul play suspected, probably like we said, because, he's a bigger dude and like they had root beer floats or whatever. Maybe they just
Did
thought
he survive
natural
well?
causes. No.
Oh shit. Oh.
No.
Yeah, I thought he lived too.
I thought the way we were going, he lived.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. R.I.P.
Well, then he
R.I.P. to
definitely
Peanut.
won't have any more root beer
R.I.P.
floats.
Peanut.
No, you were right. I thought you said that because no, R.I.P. to Peanut.
No, I didn't know he died. Now I
He
do.
passed away.
Do some people
this-
put peanuts in the root beer floats, or is that something people put in like Cokes?
Cokes. Put your
Cokes,
peanuts
okay.
in Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parfait. I think you're thinking of parfaits.
No, people definitely put peanuts in Cokes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
weird.
for sure. It's a big time Southern snack drink.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That'll get you to the grave.
Yeah. It
Salt
sure
and
will.
Sugar. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sure will. It'll get your teeth fucked up too. Um, but nothing as bad as having your root beer float poisoned by your wife. And at first there was no suspected foul play, like I said, because it just happened at home. He passed away like overnight after the root beer floats. He's 52, kind of out of shape. So there was like, maybe
Yeah,
it's just
everyone's
natural
like-
causes.
Yeah, everyone's like, he actually outlived what we thought he was going to do. Right.
Right. Yeah. Like poor Peanut, we told him to get his act together with the eating.
Right.
Anyways, that all changed when the house was robbed on September 19th, 2023 by Stephen White and Nathaniel Napier. So they recently robbed Marsha, the mom's house.
Yeah, DJ Quarles. I had sex with a girl. What's his name?
Yeah,
That's the guy from Road Trip.
not the most intimidating set of thieves or burglars to come to your house. Like you see Stephen White roll up and you're like, what do you want, you little punk? And then anyways, he was there to rob Marsha, the mom. And Stephen White, see, he knew what Marsha had done. And so when the cops caught up with him after
What a
the
way to get
burglary,
caught.
yeah, because Marsha called the cops crazily on these two burglars who are friends with her daughter that knew it with her after the burglary, or with him rather, Stephen White, the guy who robbed her house. He spilled the beans as an insurance policy. Obviously, he's like,
I was gonna say he looks just like that guy.
That's
Yeah.
what I said. DJ Qualls.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Sex
I didn't know who
with a
DJ
girl.
Qualls
Yeah.
was.
The guy
I
from
thought it
Road
was an
Trip.
actual DJ. It's just an actor named DJ.
Yeah, the other guy looks like a bummed Steph Curry.
Yeah. It's a cast of characters in this story. All very malicious people, by the way. So it gets worse. The police got a hold of Marsha's phone, because obviously Stephen White's insurance policy worked. When he flipped on the mom who had murdered her husband, the cops were like, oh yeah, that's a bigger fish to fry. Let's go there. And so police got a hold of Marsha's phone, and quote, in Marsha's cell phone, there were many text messages beginning in November 22 between Marsha and Ashley, in which the two discussed poisoning Harold. Ashley was living with Marsha at 3287 North State Road, 135, Freetown, Indiana, until sometime after Harold died on December 20th, 2022. So basically, the daughter was like living in to help her commit this murder. And then the in-depth texts and Googles on the phone, they were just riddled with the deadly foxglove seed. So like everything on her phone was like a Google about how to turn foxglove seeds into poison, how to do it without getting caught. Every text between.
Well, are you trying to
ordering
tell me that
foxglove
you're
seeds.
trying to tell me that this group, this foursome, couldn't keep a murder secret?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you, Mark. They
These four pieces of shit couldn't keep it bottled up.
no, they couldn't. You surprise, right? When you see the mugshots, it does make sense.
Yeah.
Of how it all went down. And so yeah, like basically she didn't delete any of the evidence. She had it all on her phone, everything that they were trying to do to kill this guy and poison him. And it turns out that Ashley had actually sent the burglars to try and get her share of the money from the mom, Marcia, because she's like, it was a whole scheme to try and get all of like his insurance policy and everything he left behind. And I guess the mom wasn't forking it over. So Ashley sends over her two thugs, DJ Qualls and his buddy, JV freshman Steph Curry.
Right.
She calls the cops, ends up basically calling the cops on herself. And then after she realized what she did, she probably took the foxglove seeds as well, because she poisoned. Well, she was a poisoner, and she's gone now. And now everybody else
she
is
killed herself with the foxglove?
She suicided herself?
Yeah.
The foxgloves?
What a crazy story.
Damn.
Yeah. Right. Indiana.
Whoa.
Mhm. Yeah. So basically, just do, it's a PSA, like poison's bad.
So who gets Peanut's money?
The daughter?
This-
Probably his sister.
Because she's going to she's
Next
going
of
to jail for
kin?
life.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Does the daughter have it like the granddaughter, maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Crazy though. You got to watch out for poison, though, guys. I'm telling you.
Peanut didn't surround himself with the best people. He also probably was a piece of shit himself. R.I.P. though. Yeah, I mean, good. Like you said, the moral of the story is poisoning's bad, but also don't fuck with root beer floats is also a moral of the story.
It's true. That's the main one actually, Mark, is that if you are if you are psychotic enough to poison somebody's root beer float,
bad things will happen to you.
Bad things.
It's really the meanest thing to do.
That's tempting fate in the most severe degree when you fuck with the root beer float. Yeah.
It's my son's favorite dessert.
Dude, Dump Truck D just was showering us with
so those are stickers, by the way. We can't see them on our StreamYard. They're not showing up as what we're seeing. They're showing up as stickers. Some are hot dogs, the bonus dogs.
We appreciate them nonetheless.
Yeah. We'll have to look and see Eric set those up. So he's the first super subscriber with the stickers.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, that's a lot cooler than poisoning. Thanks, Dump Truck D.
Yeah, I'd say so. This one I wouldn't call it cool. But we have a new entry for horniest, kinkiest European country. It's been Germany, it's still Germany, but Spain, also a kinky girl, right?
They have been, yeah.
As we know from the sex parties on stage at Ibiza or whatever island. Ibiza, right? Sorry, Ibiza. Well, now they're taking their kinkiness to the mainland, right? I believe I think Barcelona is probably their capital, but who knows?
Madrid,
I think Madrid may be the capital.
Well, to their second, one of their top two.
Barcelona is like the capital.
Also, is that Barcelona instead of
Barcelona?
Yeah, Barcelona. They're taking to
you
Barcelona.
Have to have a lisp if you're Spanish.
Is it? Do we just know? Do we just accept? Yeah, are there just a lot of Spanish people with lisps? We just don't.
I don't know.
Correct them because it's.
Maybe they're all gay.
Ableism. There's a few of them that are gay, that's for sure.
I can tell you from videos from Ibiza that not everyone is.
Wasn't that Pepsi commercial from Spain with the gay Pepsi commercial from Spain that got everyone up in arms?
I don't know.
He was like talking really gay, and he drank a Pepsi, and then he became not gay.
I think there's definitely some gays in Spain, but I think isn't Spain also heavy on Catholicism? Anywhere that's heavy on Catholicism isn't going to be huge on.
I know.
Yeah. Anyways, which is crazy. Get over it. The church. Now they're taking it to the mainland, where a museum in Barcelona is opening its doors to nudist visitors. Yes, that's a nice piece of art. I'm talking about your package. Hey, thanks. Hell of a bush on you too, my friend.
This is your worst nightmare, Mark. A museum and cocks all around.
You're right, Wes. I was saying I'm not big on art and museums, but this isn't great. My other story is about tarantulas. Play to your fears on Halloween.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess. The museum, de los Muertos, the Museum of Archaeology of Catalonia held a 90-minute tour in collaboration with the Catalan Naturism Club this past Saturday. And what do you think the Catalan Naturism Club is?
It's a nudist club.
It's a nudist colony club. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. They have a little park out there, forest. Yeah, it's a
nature club equals nudist colony.
Yeah.
Probably swingers too.
Of course, if you're a nudist, don't you have to be a swinger? Basically,
like I think so. Well, you can't. It would be
Go-
kind of
wanna be.
odd,
Yeah.
odd to be like, hey, don't hit on my. They probably don't have marriages. Don't hit on my partner.
Right.
They're all
Yeah.
nude. It's kind of
She's just standing here nude in front of you. How dare you?
Yeah, exactly. You're getting a little too presumptuous just because we sleep
Well-
next to each other nude, all of us.
If it's a nature club, though, shouldn't they be outside? Like, I feel like nudists I have no problem with when they're sequestered outside. But even me, as a guy that feels like nudity is a-okay in most situations, being confined with other nude people seems like it could be, jarring to some.
Well, they're all the same club, so they're friends. And the reason they wanted to do it is because this particular like art museum had a bunch of nudist displays. So here they are in all their glory, talking about nude art pictures and sculptures from thousands of years ago while being nude now. And they're saying things like, "Hey, not much has changed, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are like perfect bodies that they're looking at.
You're talking about the
The
art
pictures, yeah. The artwork,
not
yeah.
59-year-old Marta there on the
No,
left.
not marked on the left. No.
Not well, the dudes even, they're not, they're like dad botted.
I mean, most
the-
nudist colonies aren't full of Adonises.
No,
historically.
right. No, for sure.
Yeah.
I saw a big nudist colony go through the middle of Amsterdam when I was there. No Adonises. In fact, I think 0 Adonises.
Did you see them or smell them go by?
Watched them go by. They had like the cages over their cocks and stuff. It was like,
Yeah.
Cages, huh?
It's like a Pepe Le Pew trail of stink from a nudist colony. The Bronzes of Rias exhibition of Luigi Spina's photographs depicting large Greek bronze statues of naked warriors from the 5th century BC is what they were interested in the most. After the tour, the museum was shut down for several hours as cleaners in hazmat suits put up a tent around the museum and sprayed everything down. It was like an infestation of termites in there. Yeah.
you don't know what kind of fluids they're going to leave on the benches and whatnot.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Here's a quote from the tour guide and member of the Naturism Club, Edgard. They had to correct the article I read because they called him Edgar, and he threw a fit. So they're like, "Oh, we meant to say Edgard in the bottom update. It was Edgard." He said, "We wanted to make it a more colorful visit and not the typical guided tour. We wanted people who came to see it to feel exactly the same as the work they were looking at. Just nude,
Mhm.
Okay, Edgard.
I mean,
Yes, think about this.
it's a day for this, right? This isn't, you can't go in any day, right?
It was a special one-off. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay. That makes more sense. Because, yeah,
It's a 90-minute
feels like
tour on Saturday. Yeah.
Right.
if there was like kids, that
Yeah.
becomes a legal issue,
No, I think they rented it out.
Right.
I think they
Well, that's
rented it out.
fair.
But did they show up naked or did they show up clothed and like change in the museum?
No,
and
they show.
did they
show-
walk
don't
out
go-
naked?
They never put clothes on.
Right. So you probably saw them exiting and walking around town in Barcelona for a while. Here's another one from 59-year-old Marta, the woman again on the left, as you saw there. There's Marta. She says, "I feel the same intensity as observing it with clothes on, but with the difference that we might understand better that nudity has always existed and bodies should not be a source of shame for anyone." Okay, Marta, put some clothes on.
Just because it's not a source of shame, it's just a source of society that you
Right.
put your clothes on and don't hang dong in front of children.
No one's going to shame you unless you walk around naked
Right.
in public, Marta.
Yeah. And have you noticed that nudists are like pretty much strictly like 50 and over? Or
Right.
like there's
They're
not
old as
many
fuck.
young, fit nudists.
No, we went to for your bachelor party in Key West. We went to the Garden of Eden. And
Yeah.
it was all olds
Right.
Yeah.
I was
and
at Gar-
dudes.
I saw the biggest cock I've ever seen in my life at the Garden of Eden one time when
Yeah.
we were filming there for a show, and
That guy's showing off.
he was up there every day because we did like a
Yeah.
segment about it, and he was there every day just hanging his fucking hog. His penis was so big that everyone like the director of photography got a picture with him because it just for like scale.
couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
It's like
couldn't believe it.
alarming as a tarantula.
It was
That's-
enormous.
My favorite nudists are, which there's many of these, are the guys who like have a tiny penis and a huge
Right.
beer belly, but
Yeah,
for
yeah.
some reason
That's
are still
most of 'em.
nudists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's-
Most of them were ashamed of their body for years, and they've now gotten over that shame and are overcompensating by just never wearing clothes again. Like,
Right.
That's
I think when
Okay.
I turn 50, I could go and be, nudist. No
You're
problem.
gonna join a naturism club?
No, I won't join one, but I wouldn't have a problem like going to a nude beach or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, you shouldn't have a problem.
Right,
But besides the law, but I mean,
Right,
yeah,
the law.
But like Mark says, like when you see nudist groups, you're like it's mostly dudes. Like you're not. It's not
always
like
dudes.
yeah.
Look at this
you're-
picture. It's like 8 dudes, like probably between the age of 20 and 40. One guy's old, and then 59-year-old Martha. Not exactly ideal if you're a man, heterosexual man.
My sister got trapped. I think I told you guys this. My sister got trapped on a nudist beach in Jamaica. Hedonism. We'd rented jet skis at the resort next door, and hers broke down like in front of the hedonism beach. So she had to swim to shore, and she was trapped on the nudist beach, which she was like 8.
Oh no!
Yeah,
She learned some things that day.
Oh, no.
yeah.
Hedonism 1 or hedonism 2?
Maybe she was like 12 because I was 16. So yeah, she was like 12.
Still pretty young for
Hedonism 2, I think it was in the grill.
Montego Bay.
Is that more intense?
The grill. I don't know. I have no
Hedonism
idea.
Ramping it up a notch. Never again, said museum janitor Raul. Please God, never again. Not exactly a bunch of Heidi Klums walking around in there, but
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
what are you gonna do? So
Well, I'm glad they rented it out for themselves. I was worried they subjected the children to their nudity.
it was a 90-minute tour that was again, I don't know how long in between or if any they had a specific nudist tour. So
I bet it's exhilarating though to walk around in a place like that where you normally are very clothed, have to be
Yeah.
clothed, but you're just butt naked. I bet it's a rush. I bet it feels great.
It's like the Super
we
Bowl.
get
for
it,
these
Wes.
guys.
You're gonna join the nudist club. We get it.
No, I don't. I'm not saying it's a definite, but I bet that's a rush. Where
I mean, don't you like walking around your house naked?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fun.
that's one day the kids at the bus stop are going to see me. It's going to be terrible.
Who does?
I always do
I
the
park my car in a way that it blocks the window. So.
I always do the cup. I always do the cup your package when you run
Yeah,
past the open window.
Yeah.
I don't have open windows, and I walk around naked a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I got some big ones up front.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. I know all three of us were either too large or too cool, maybe a combination of both, to have ever been stuffed in a locker in school. But did you ever do any stuffing or witness any stuffing of a kid in a locker, like middle school, high school?
No to both.
I didn't
witness maybe, but no, not
I
participate.
definitely witnessed not locker stuffings, but tossing kids into trash cans. That was something I saw happen quite a few times in high school.
Danny used to toss kids into lockers all the time. Our friend Danny, we were near him when he was doing it, but we
I saw a few locker
didn't
stuffing.
encourage it. I wouldn't say, but
It's a mean thing.
we didn't stop it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's always enjoyable to watch when you're that age, but it's very mean.
Well, it's not your fight. Like it always is like they're fighting about something, and then somebody ends up stuffed in a locker or tossed in a trash can. And I'm not. I mean,
yeah,
I'm on the sidelines there.
There was in middle school. There was this huge African American girl. Her name was Lisa, and she was, I assume, a lesbian, but she was bigger than anyone in our school, and she was a bully, and she used to stuff boys in lockers. It was incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Getting that pent up rage out on those boys.
It was crazy.
That's
man.
a nightmare. You don't want to go to school.
Lisa was a nightmare for everybody.
Some of those boys are talking to their therapist about Lisa still.
Oh, 1,000%. I wonder where she is. I guarantee
Absolutely.
she's in jail. She's probably in prison.
A few of those boys join a nudist colony eventually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so ashamed back when Lisa used to terrorize me.
Yeah, dude. It was a very scary time. Had photography with her. It was insane. Being in the dark room with Lisa was like a nightmare.
Oh, dark
Barely
room,
see her in there.
dude. Dark room was awesome.
Yeah, dark room was cool, but not when Lisa was in there.
One of the first places I got my, did a little messing around in school.
Did you finger someone in the dark room?
OTPHJ style makeout.
Oh,
Dark rooms are just
they're great.
hookup
light.
central. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Might as well be a big back seat of a car.
Yeah. you gotta get high on the fumes. Everyone's just woozy.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were lucky to not have been stuffed, but that wasn't the case for a 8th grader, a boy, then age 12. Back on December 4th, 2020, at this school. Where is it? It's a Catholic school in Ottawa. The College Catholique Franco Quest in Bell's Corners. So Catholic prep school, I guess. And he was in the hallways. He was joking around with his boys, having a good time. And he was showing them that he could fit in his locker. He was like, "Hey, check it out. I'm so tiny I can fit in my own locker." Okay. And he said it was fun at first, until a teacher intervened, and she asked him to get into the locker again. And he was like, "Yeah, well, when the teacher tells you to do it, you do it." And she locked him in, and she wouldn't let him out. There's video of it, but it's kind of shitty, like surveillance video. So she locked this kid. Yeah, she locked this kid in the locker for 2 minutes, and he said that he kept trying to push.
Mr. Maker.
Yeah. She's
a
Lisa.
teacher we had.
He said that he was trying to get out, but she kept slamming the door on his head. Luckily, there was no injuries, but he could hear laughter and comments as he was in there. And then he went to his class, and he was crying in his next class. So of course it was a very traumatic experience for him, obviously, that a teacher locked him in a locker. Sure. And so of course he went home, and he's like, "Yo, Dad, Mrs. So-and-so locked me in a fucking locker today. What are you going to do about that?" And his dad's like, "Well, shit, I guess I better call the school." And the school was like, "We're not going to do anything." And a year went by. His father called the police, and the police talked to the teacher. And I guess the school had suspended the teacher for like 2 days without pay. That was her penalty for locking this kid in the locker. 2 days without penalty, or 2 days without pay. And the investigator finally talked to her a year later, didn't press any charges. Because she apologized and said, quote, she didn't realize that it was unprofessional and inappropriate in a school setting. And
she didn't realize locking a kid in a locker was unprofessional.
Right. She didn't realize that.
That's a shitty excuse.
Yeah.
And you gotta come up with something better than that.
Yeah. So no charges for the teacher. The dad was like, "Okay, no charges. You only suspended her for 2 days. We're going to sue her now. We're going to sue the school district." But I guess in Ottawa, the Crown can intervene on courses, and the Crown on litigation on personal, lawsuits, and the Crown even threw it out because I guess they were protecting this Catholic school, maybe the upper
surprise.
Yeah, surprise. So
tell me, King Charles sausage fingered that himself and just signed something that said,
I don't know if it was the crown, or if it was like the Parliament crown. I don't know.
Right.
It's just
the regional crown. Yeah.
They say the Crown in the article.
I like to imagine it's always King Charles making all the important decisions in Canada.
Yeah.
He just has like an automatic override of everybody.
Yeah. So he went from the school doing nothing to the police doing nothing to the Crown tossing his lawsuit out. And now his kid had to go to the same school, and they said they would make the teacher not be around him, but many a time she's still around him. So he's traumatized. He's going to therapy. He's got a younger daughter that's coming up in 7th grade. The dad's worried about her. So it's just been a nightmare. This 2-minute locker stuffing has been a nightmare for this family for three
They overblew it, but
yeah, they did.
They way overblew it.
Yeah, they did.
How many more times has a kid been stuffed in a locker since then, though? Probably a lot.
Now that people know he can fit, and that he's going to cry probably every day.
I think he's threatened every day, but they don't do it because they know his family will throw a hissy fit, but they threaten him verbally every day.
They did. They're
like, Mark, we'll get the teacher to come out here too. Like, like they
hear the kids being like, "Next time, let's do it for 10 minutes. We'll do it every day." And that he heard the teacher asking for a lock while he was in there. So he was just petrified. So it's been a living nightmare for this kid, this family, because this fucking.
How great would it be if King Charles went with hot dog buns around his fingers for Halloween? That would be great. We had a teacher in high school for a year. He only lasted a year because what he did, Mr. Maker, science teacher, and he was like a bully teacher, and he picked on this one kid that was a little bit overweight, and he called him Titty Boy, and he would give him titty twisters in class, and he would fuck with him. So we're in this class, and I was in Titty Boy's class, and he went out to go to the bathroom once, and Mr. Maker was like, "Watch, I'm going to lock him out. I'm not going to let him back in after he comes back from the bathroom." So he locks bro out, and he's banging on the door. Mr. Maker's laughing at him. We're all laughing. Finally, he lets him in, and he gave him a titty twister when he came in. And the kid, that was the last straw. That was the last straw. The kid loses his mind. Because he chased him around and gave him a titty twister after he locked him out. Everyone's laughing at him. He like takes a rock and like throws it at the glass clock, and shatters it. He's like, "Fuck all of you!" And you never see this kid again for multiple days. Long story short, every single one of us got called in the office to retell the story, and Mr. Maker was fired the next day. Obviously,
yeah, they handled it appropriately there.
Yeah, he was fired immediately. Mr. Maker also it was 9/11. It was
that guy was insane. He seemed like he was like hungover every day.
He was. He told us a story about how he punched out an 80-year-old man at an ATM that wasn't being patient with him, or like I think it was at his ex-wife's house too, like the new boyfriend.
Cool, Mr. Maker.
Yeah, he was like, got beat up an 80-year-old man today. This guy's like 40, and not a big guy, like just a piece of shit.
Short, bald, and unimpressive 40. Yeah,
I think he was from like Michigan or Minnesota. So it was the year of 9/11, and a month, not even a month after actual 9/11, he was like, "I'm going back home. We're gonna go hunting." Like, cool. And he's like, "I'm bringing my rifles on the plane." We're like, "The fuck you are? There's no chance. 9/11 just happened, dude." And he was like, "Oh, I'm bringing my rifles on the plane." We're like, "Okay, how about this? If you get your rifles on the plane, cool. If you don't, the final can be a take-home final." He was like, "Deal." And then he got fired before we could do the final.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Titty boy, man. That poor titty boy.
He fucked that dude up for life.
That is tough.
Yeah,
I've seen him since. He's doing all right.
Have you?
Yeah.
Eric says the Crown is the state's representation in legal matters in Canada, whatever that means. I don't know what
I'm going to go ahead and just in my mind, that's King Charles.
Yeah.
Old sausage fingers.
There you go.
All right. Last poison story of the day. And this is good news for poison lovers, because if you want to just live inside a poison environment just all the time, you know what I mean? Just breathe it in. Now's your chance to do so for the low cost of $1.55 million. Okay. Does that sound like a deal?
Yes.
You get a little poisoned, and then you can sit in your house for 1.55. There's a stunning 2,700 square foot listing in San Jose right now. 6,000 square foot lot, quiet neighborhood, close to Silicon Valley, swimming pool, spa, 3.5 bathrooms. So, I mean, you're talking about a nice home.
6,000 square feet is
poison room.
Yeah, well, 2,700 for the house, 6,000 square foot lot.
The lot,
100 square foot house, right?
You got a pool.
Yeah.
Pool, spa, 3.5 bath. That's pretty good. But there's a catch, guys. According to the listing, the home has an inactive meth lab and meth contamination throughout. Still 1.55 million though. So
threat of explosion?
Not inactive. So not cooking it anymore. But you need to take it as is with all the meth residue everywhere in the air ducts, all over the floors, the ceilings.
Right. Don't want a baby in there.
Well,
probably
West.
okay with it. How much would it cost to get someone in there to clean all that out? 25
and to renovate this place?
Yeah.
200 grand maybe?
Yeah.
So 1.75.
Yeah. Well, but that's
neighbors are awfully close to you as well for 1.5.
California, man. It's San Jose. Yeah. Nobody has a big yard. And you need to take it as is. And Wes, it's funny you bring up the kids. The last tenant cooked so much meth in the house that it's literally poison. Floor to ceiling, meth residue, the whole house. You can't get away from it. And the former owner was a 36-year-old meth dealer who dabbled in stealing electric transformers, from the fucking poles, and he didn't just cook meth in the house. He cooked bombs in there as well. And he was actually caught by leaving explosive residue everywhere at the scenes of his crimes, his heists, when he would steal these electrical transformers. His name is Peter Kasarev. We may have even covered him.
How did this guy not blow up?
Carousel.
He was living quite a life.
Yeah, he was. He was, Wes.
He's an exciting guy.
Making bombs, cooking meth. Stealing transformers. Who do you sell that to?
Something about him. It's always a thrill when I'm around this guy.
Peter's nuts, man.
Need a break from him every time I hang out with him.
It's too much adrenaline. Wes, like you pointed out with the kids, you don't want a kid in there, but Peter lived there with a wife and 3 kids while he was making the bombs and the meth, apparently. So
Now that's too reckless.
A little bit, right? So since the kids survived, apparently, this inactive meth lab discount isn't quite as big as you'd think. Only $200,000 off the last similar listing that's sold in the area. So I ask you again, is poisoning yourself with meth residue throughout the entire home worth the $200,000 discount and then paying probably close to that much to fix it up?
Right. Well, there's the deal. If you can get it all fixed up for 150 grand and pocket 50 and get all the residue out of there, then yes.
You got to look at it like a flip. You got to flip this thing. Like you got to get it in good shape. Maybe you can make a quick 100 grand on it. That's the way I'd look at it. I would never live there.
Well, that's what the listers are trying to say. They're saying, if you have a big imagination and a drive to make it happen, this place could be legitimate. But no.
Now, did you check everywhere for bombs?
Right. I think
might be like a hidden bomb somewhere.
You got to go at least 500 grand off for fucking meth residue, right?
Yeah,
like, I mean,
yeah, or
5 million.
Not taking it as is, fix it up, and then we'll talk.
You would have to get all new drywall, all new floors. I mean, you have to gut the place basically.
You have to gut it completely down to the studs. Meth
Yeah.
residue is so bad. Remember we did those stories about the homeless smoking meth in the libraries in Colorado. Got contaminated entire libraries that they had to shut down and clean out, like for probably tens of thousands of dollars. Like, so that's just smoking meth in the fucking bathroom a lot. This guy's like actually cooking the shit and making bombs. So
all right. No, you convinced me. I'll take a different house for 1.7.
Yeah. So once again, poison doesn't win in this case. I think the realtors are up shit creek with that listing.
Yeah, that's a tough sell. Yeah. Hey, at least know what died in there, right? Anyone die in here? No.
Probably. Dude, you think in Peter's house?
A few guys OD'd outside on the lawn, but not in here.
It has a beautiful patio, Mark. Yeah, so they're probably out there quite a bit.
Haunted patio. They died outside, right? All right. I have another international story, but not really, because it's also domestic. Let's see what a Swiss couple that was vacationing in California's Death Valley did. Here's what they did. They caused a car accident due to a tarantula. And I know what you're thinking. There's a tarantula in the car, and they drove it off a cliff on purpose, right?
Right.
That's what I thought.
Dropped on them, and then they swerved, and then
right. Wrong. That's what I thought when I read the headline. Tarantula causes vehicle crash in California's Death Valley.
Right, like it crawls up your leg all of a sudden. You're driving and you're like, "Oh shit, tarantula!" And you fucking, you lose.
I read that headline and thought, I've probably thought about this scenario 723 times in my life. I thought, no shit, it caused an accident, because if I'm driving and a tarantula starts crawling on me, or even inside the car in my viewpoint, there will be no survivors. Like Bane said when asked, now what's the next step of your master plan? Crashing the car with no survivors. I'm rolling out of the car at full speed and aiming the car into a tree or cliff so that it sets on fire and burns that motherfucker inside the car to death.
Right. Just roll out the door right before you crash it.
Aiming off a cliff. Yeah. Just see ya. Because the giant tarantula crawling across, it was that's not what the Swiss freaks did. They saw this giant tarantula crawling across the street, and they didn't run it over and high five and say, thank God. They stopped the car immediately and swerved so that they would save the tarantula's life. And a motorcycle guy going at full speed smashed into the back of their mini camper and is probably dead. Not sure at the time of this recording, but is severely injured in the hospital, has not returned calls.
They killed a human
pretty much
instead of running over a tarantula.
Paralyzed him. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
He was following too close.
He was. The 24-year-old Canadian motorcyclist was taken to Desert View Hospital, where it is unclear on his condition. I don't know if you want to see if there's an update, Eric, but the articles I read, they said he's not doing
not in
great
shape. Yeah, when you fly right into the car right in front of you that slammed on its brakes for a tarantula.
And it was a camper. Not exactly like a sedan, so it was like flat and tall.
He just
so
stopped.
He went straight into it. Yeah,
he
broke his neck probably. Yeah,
He didn't
So he
get
might
any
have-
kind of flip over. Or anything.
no, he went straight into the camper.
Yeah.
That's tough, man, because he might not have been able to like see much of what's going on around the camper.
No, he probably wasn't. He probably like could see like, oh, there's no cars coming, and I don't see a deer. He couldn't see the tarantula in front of the mini camper, or assume that they would stop for a tarantula.
Have
But
they
they
said
did.
anything, or are they?
They should be in jail, but I think hopefully at least they are back home in Sweden and never come back. Could you imagine telling a guy he's paralyzed over a tarantula?
No.
Oh, sir, they stopped for a tarantula. You'll never walk again. You might as well throw a few tarantulas on top of the poor bastard and watch him try to blow them off.
If he survives, this Swedish couple is in trouble.
Unless they went back home. We're not going to extradite him.
Dude, he's gonna go to
Yeah.
Sweden.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, to just ask them why. Why did you do that?
It's fucking-
Insane. So
How the fuck?
misleading headline when it said tarantula causes car accident. It was psycho Swedish people obsessed with wildlife stop for a tarantula and killed motorcyclist. That should have been the headline.
Just splats into a Cruise America rented camper.
Dude, stopping for a bug? It's insane. Well, that's where it says O'Doyle rules.
Yeah, drive it right off the cliff. I'm O'Doyle ruling. The second I see a tarantula in the car, I'm driving off a cliff. Yeah.
Oh man.
Ooh, and live comment from Ryan. He says, I worked with a guy that would pick up tarantulas in Red Rock Canyon and walk around with them on his shoulder. Yeah. And in Texas, like
psychopath.
wolf spiders, they have huge ones. I've seen people just play with like tons of them at a time. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, okay. They're not your friends.
Oh, you got a trick or treater, Wes?
Yeah, but I don't have any candy, so I gotta go turn off my light. Hang on.
You didn't get candy? You didn't even put a bowl out? Oh, no. He's got to go tell the kid he's a grump. Get out of here, kid.
He's turning it off on a kid right now.
Hey, you can't catch a hit. Can't get a hit, kid. Shut up. You little shit.
I can't wait to hear how disappointed the kid was.
Oh. Wes's first year Halloweening in this neighborhood.
What's that?
What was the look on his face? Was he really disappointed?
I didn't see him.
Just
I
shut the light off on
I
him.
just turned the light off on him.
You can hear someone whispering, "This is the guy that walks around naked."
Yeah, I heard it. I heard him outside. I saw his parents waiting. Usually, like it's a pumpkin that signifies you're giving out Halloween candy, right? I mean, isn't that the deal?
Well, no.
No,
not
the light on.
necessarily. Light on.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
'Cause-
well, the light's off.
Yeah.
My light's on 24 hours a day, though. So,
Yeah. That's on those stupid kids.
idiots. Okay. Speaking of pests that aren't great, let's talk about some rats. New York City rats. New York City, as we've seen when we were drinking out late night, getting hammered when we would visit Barstool, the rats are huge in New York City. I think we saw a few scamper across the alleyways, and
They eat pizzas. They eat slices of pie.
Yeah, they're enormous and they're everywhere, and they've been a problem ever since New York became a city. Pretty much, there's lots of food there. There's lots of people there. Rats thrive in New York City, but Council Member Julie Menon of New York's 5th district, there she is. She kind of looks a little radish almost.
She looks a little bit strung out. Yeah.
Yeah, she looks a little radish. Well, she has solved New York's rat problem, and
Well, it
is
takes one
claiming-
to know how to deal with it.
Right.
right,
She's
exactly.
the leader. She's
Claiming that her method,
top
her method of getting rid of rats is 100% effective. Any guesses on what they're doing to take care of these rats?
poisoning again.
I mean, they are poisoning them, but how are they poisoning them?
Oh, in
being
pizza boxes. Pizza,
No.
poison pizza. Because the rats love pizza, right?
That might work if they just let out some poison pizza, like the homeless cigarette idea, kind of.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
see?
No, what they're doing is a tried and true method of killing people, carbon monoxide. They are,
Whoa.
yeah.
That sounds dangerous.
Doesn't it
gas.
sound dangerous?
Yeah.
They are pumping.
Whoa,
They are
the silent
pumping.
killer.
They are pumping carbon monoxide into these rats' burrows, which mainly I guess are underneath a lot of like the tree areas in New York City. That's where they prefer because the soil's soft and they can get under there and like so they have been pumping carbon monoxide into their burrows, and it is killing every single one of them dead. And
what great strategy, honestly.
it is, right?
Could it trap too much carbon monoxide underground though?
But it's outside by trees.
That's
so.
outside, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that screenshot looked good, like it was in like a garden.
Right. No, they're doing it under buildings. They're doing it everywhere. So,
right, but if they put too much in, okay.
Right. So
in a building.
Here's the thing: is that so this guy, this exterminator, his name is Matthew Diodato. He's with Urban Pest Management. He uses this thing called Burrow RX to pump carbon monoxide into the burrows, and it he creates a smoke out of a vegetable oil, so he can make sure it's not wafting in any direction that it shouldn't. So it's staying strictly in the burrows. It's not like creeping into people's vents,
forming a cloud.
Right.
Combining.
Right. But here's the problem is that it's working so well. And now it's news that people are starting to do this themselves. So there's a bunch of idiots out there getting their hands on carbon monoxide.
You know what? I got a few rats in my garage.
Pumping it into their basements. And pretty soon they're all going to be dead.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So because they're not going to remove the carcasses.
Exactly. Well, it's just gonna be thousands of dead rats everywhere rotting in New York City.
Humans, garages, and humans, basements.
Yeah. But it's 100% effective.
So stay out of the basement, basically, right now. If you're like a squatter in New York and you hear this, which you probably won't, but you should stay out of the basement.
If some crazy lady asked you to have root beer float night in her basement in New York, don't do it.
Whoa,
right?
That's spooky.
Yeah,
Day of the Dead stuff right there.
Yeah,
but they're saying it's revolutionary the way that it kills these rats, and it's
right. So maybe have professionals do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've upped the intensity of this fight. This is from the New York Post. And Kathleen Karate is the Big Apple's first ever Rat Tsar, which she was appointed by Mayor Adams in April.
That's a cool title.
Rat Tsar, yeah. So she's now going to be using this new technique. And
so the Rat Tsar, it's like Eric Adams' first win as mayor of New York City.
Yeah, if he gets rid of the rats, that's huge. Yeah,
it's going to be it's all he needs to do, really.
Right. Well, then someone will say
fucked everything else up, but then he's like, well,
someone will say, now get rid of the Puerto Ricans.
Hey, work on the rats. I'll probably work on the Puerto Ricans. Yeah, so pretty good, but they should probably put out a warning that you shouldn't do this yourself because someone is going to die from carbon monoxide poisoning by trying to get rid of rats in their building or something like that.
Yeah,
but I'm a fan of the Rat Queen now. What's her name again? Was Karate?
Her last name is Karate, which is cool.
The Rat Tsar is Kathleen Karate, but this woman, the 5th District woman, is Menon.
Oh, the woman who came up with the solution isn't the Rat Tsar?
No, she's the
Karate's just taking her shine.
Yeah, it sounds like she's the one. This woman, the 5th District, Julie Menon, she brought the program back.
Okay, but Karate's the expert.
Yeah, she's getting all that. She's getting
Karate's working with her on it.
She got the picture in the article. Menon did, so I don't know.
Well,
maybe because she looks like a rat. I don't know.
Whoever it is, Well, That's Weird says she's the daughter of April and Master Splinter. I was thinking the same thing. Big TMNT vibes.
That's a good Halloween movie. Or Day of the Dead. Ghostbusters. That's a good one.
Bonus dog story real quick since Dump Truck D sent us some hot dogs, or whoever sent us some hot dogs. This is Michael Marshall, and he did something hilarious. I mean, he owns a Dodge Challenger. A lot of Dodge Challengers are used by cops now. Most of them are unmarked, but a lot of police forces have these Challengers.
I rented a Challenger once on a trip, and they're fucking awesome. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They're cool.
Dude, Dodge sports cars are fun to drive.
They're fast. Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, they're fun. The Challengers are the 2-door, the Chargers are the 4-door. So anyway,
Avengers fun too, or when they had it. I don't know if they still have it, but yeah.
So he got to thinking, he's like, well, I have this Challenger and my commute to work sucks and I'd like to get there a lot faster. So what he did is he outfitted his all black Challenger with some police lights
Right.
and started getting to work. And
He had some reds. Yeah.
He had some reds and blues, and he had a switch inside of his car, and whenever he was stuck in traffic,
these people.
I think this guy's awesome.
No, man, there must be some law out in Nevada
Look at
where
this
you
guy.
can have cars that look like cop cars, because like there's a lot of people here who drive around like old cop cars or things.
It's
that make
because
you
they get
think
them at
it's a cop car.
auctions. They get them at auctions. That's what it is.
But they don't repaint them and shit. It's the
Right.
worst, dude. You always think you're being followed by a cop. It's the worst. I can't stand these people.
Well, this guy,
good plan, but
Yeah, it's good for them and only them. It sucks for everyone
Right.
else.
right?
sucks for
Yeah,
everybody else.
he was having the time of his life, flipping on that switch and getting to work. He could leave 20 minutes later, but
When he showed up to work, they're like, and he's wearing like a suit and tie and works as like an accountant. Like, doesn't anyone like put two and two together? Like,
no.
You're the guy that passed me 2 miles back and got to work before me.
I don't know if they were on his top of his car or like they were in like grill lights. You know that some of the cops just have the lights in the
Sure, but I
grills.
mean,
That
like
you can't see him.
when he got to work, his car still looked the same, and people
Right.
saw him get out and not be a cop.
Well, I don't know if he did it.
When
Yeah,
he went to
maybe
the grocery store.
You probably have to
whatever.
shut it off.
Yeah, he
How did
shuts
you
it
get
off.
caught though? Yeah, how did you get caught?
he got caught because a cop saw him and was like, let me call this in, and they're like, oh, he's actually not a cop. So they pulled him over, and he got arrested for impersonating an officer. So his fun's over, and he's out on bond now. But it was fun while it lasted.
He's going to do it again. A punishment for these type of guys has to be you can't own a car that looks like a cop car ever again.
Right.
Which they will. They're just going to do it again.
Right.
And make him swap the car.
Yeah, this was in Connecticut. So
you did the one story about the guy on the motorcycle who's got arrested like 75 times because he couldn't become a cop.
He dresses like a cop, though.
And he dresses like and he does
Yeah.
traffic stops and stuff. And
yeah. He directs
that
traffic.
guy can't help himself.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, he was doing illegal stuff, but also people were hiring him for like funerals and stuff.
Right.
So I don't know, but this guy was just bottom of the barrel. Just had some lights on to get him to work faster.
I bet he does it again, especially because it's probably a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. I mean, his bond was only $5,000. So
Yeah.
Can't stand the fake cop cars.
Anyway, that's it though. You got anything else?
No, I was just gonna say,
candy.
Speaking of Florida, man, patreon.com/hard factor if you want to get up to 2 bonus podcasts a week. We do the Hive Hour, which will come out tomorrow, and then Florida Man Friday, which comes out every Friday. So if you want to hear more stuff about like people impersonating officers, wrestling pythons, alligators, stuff like that.
Get the super stickers like Dump Truck T. However he did that. Josh says, Wes, Mr. Halloween Scrooge, classic. He hates decorations. He hates trick-or-treaters. Yeah.
I don't hate trick-or-treaters. I just didn't buy any candy, and I'm not gonna sit here by myself and get up every 5 seconds to hand out candy.
I got a bowl outside. Just leave a bowl out.
Oh, there you go. Well, you did it. I didn't.
Well, that's weird. It says, please tell me you've seen the Chris Broussard clip from earlier. No, I haven't, but we've had a very busy day in meetings all day, so we unfortunately couldn't scour the internet as much. ASAP Bodie says, boys, I'm 28. Fiance and him are having problems. Advice to keep a happy wife. Sex.
That always works.
Lots of sex, dates, and clean up the house. And
Great advice.
Pick your battles.
Yeah,
There
cleaning
you
up
go.
cleaning up the house like unexpectedly without being asked. Like they're all great advice is there. Yeah, exactly. Even if she's wrong, maybe just let it go.
It's probably not worth it.
Have some great sex, and that usually
helps.
That it speaks volumes. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. A sex is worth 1 billion words. You know what I mean?
Don't get a pet with them unless
yeah, don't no huge commitments.
Yeah. Don't sign a lease with them unless
Are you talking about one of my relationships, Mark?
I'm saying in general. Do you have anything to weigh in on that?
No, I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, right,
Oh, I forgot about that, Wes.
I'm just suggesting it's not a great idea unless
don't get too fix-it dogs.
Yeah, don't get fix-it pets. That's what I'm saying. Don't fix the fights by getting a pet.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work.
That's fair. Also, don't the kids are the same. Don't try to fix it with the kid.
Oh
the
yeah,
sex
that's
first.
the worst idea.
Fix it, pets or kids are probably not the idea.
Cap it. Make sure she's on birth control.
Yeah,
fun.
there you go.
You got this.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. If you're live, get out there, hand out some candy, enjoy your night, and we love you. Have a great fucking day.